Howdy My Sassy Gals, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name's Lydia. I hope you stay a while. Today is Vlogoween Day 27. It is October 27th, and I am a busy bee. I am running around getting ready for the show at Phoenix Academy. I will put the link down in the description below, the SURL. Down in the description below. So if you'd like to come check that out, at 5 SLT today is when the show starts. Come check us out. It is an amazing show. It's our Halloween show. Before I go any further, this is my costume for today. I am a vampire hunter who is a vampire. So basically I'm a vampire, but I also hunt vampires. So think Vampire Hunter D, but without the hand parasite. Yeah. And yes, this is an older avatar. This was me before Mesh. And yes, I'm wearing Lola Tangos. I don't want to hear it. And that's all I'm going to say. But I figured today, since I'm so busy, so nerve-wracked, because I've got this show going on this evening, that I would do another creepypasta reading. I found one that's kind of one that, tends to creep me out. So I figured I would read that. It's called Kids in the Dark. And I think you guys are going to like it. Growing up poor in the deep south meant sharing a lot of things with my little brother Ollie. Most often, we passed toys, clothes, and skin conditions between us. Up until he was 6, I even shared a bed. Neither of us was happy about that. It was my 10th birthday when that changed. I got one present that year. It was a bed of my own. Ollie was jealous right away. I could understand why. He had to keep that half broken down frame with a worn out mattress. The one I'd gotten wasn't much better, but not being broken and worn was enough. Sleeping apart was a great feeling. It was freedom. No longer would I have to suffer the sudden and unexplicable words. I can speak them, I swear. Kicks in the stomach. No longer would I wake up with Ollie's feet pressed into my neck like he was stepping on Dracula in the night. Like he was stepping on Dracula the night before. At least, that's what I thought. Right away, right after I got the new bed, the shrieks started. At first I thought Ollie woke up in the middle of the night and screamed because he'd gotten scared. Then the sound echoed through the tiny room again, and I knew it wasn't a normal cry. The room was always pitch black after sunset. The one window we had pressed against a longleaf pine, and even the biggest, brightest moon cast no light inside. The shriek just drove me crazy. Every night, probably at the same exact time, these sharp yelps would knock me right out of my dreams. It wasn't my mom and dad yelling either. I knew what that sounded like, believe me. Most worrying of all was the fact that I could never tell where it was coming from. It seemed completely random. One night it came from somewhere near the closet. The next it would shoot from a corner of the ceiling. Any hope that I'd had of having my own space would get dashed every time, as Ollie would silently slip into my bed with me. Shaking like crazy, he'd clasp onto me, and wouldn't let go until it was almost daybreak. Most of the time I'd take his hand and tell him everything was going to be okay and it would be over by morning. But I was never really sure. Over time the shrieks started to change. At first it was only a small degree. but eventually it took on a primal hooting sound of a primate calling out its fierce warning. I had to clasp a pillow to my ears just to keep from going deaf. Mom and Dad never believed me, or Ollie, basically because the thing, whatever it was, refused to make a peep when they were in the room. Apparently they couldn't even hear it through the walls, even though it was damn sure loud enough. The shriek just got worse and worse until I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. Me and Ollie were doing really bad in school, and we just had no energy at all. I could sleep more deeply with my head propped up and eyes open in the middle of class than I could in my own room at night. Then, thankfully, we moved out of the house, nearly a year later. I had contemplated all sorts of things, even a child's clumsy concept of suicide, to get away from that horrific nightly noise. There was no problem at the next house. It was a nice white cookie-cutter house on the dead end of the street, and I welcomed the normalcy. What's more, when we moved in, there was a bunk bed waiting for me and Ollie. No more broken bed. No more a second bed I ended up having to share anyway. The only problem was deciding who got the top bunk. I told Ollie I deserved it. After all, I had gotten a new bed way back, and he ruined it by climbing in it every night. What? He shook his head. I never did that. I had always wondered why the noise stopped the second I was sharing my bed. Now I had the answer. So, whatever was screaming in the room every single night was actually getting in the bed with him. Creepy! Even by my standards, that's creepy. Of course, creepy to me is children. Well, children can be very, very creepy. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that reading. I know it's kind of a simple video, but I figured, creepypastas are creepy, and I could do more creepypastas later on. Like I said, please disregard any changes in quality. I kind of have to at this point if I want to continue doing videos. I'll catch you on the flip side, and stay spooky, because that's what we do around here.